Perhaps it's because I'm potty training my toddler. Or maybe the interrupted sleep last night. Or I've just scoured through a few too many British articles about the royal family. But this video might be a little sassy because I'm kind of out of F's to give. And can we just accept that Sundays are going to be out of F's to give? Can I have a day where I present facts, but I'm also kind of snarky? Can we do that? I think we can. So I'm doing research based on a larger project that I've been working on for quite some time that is dropping this coming week, when I stumbled upon this article from the dream team of Richard Kay and Tom Leonard and their imaginations. Meghan's mission to rescue Bran Sussex in a 9,000-pound golden outfit. As the Duke and Duchess's popularity plunges in the US, they are pivoting from the dramas with the royals while promoting her as a woman of substance. Well, isn't that demeaning? Okay, the first sentence. Quote, "The scene was one to save ya." Straight from the pages of that famous self-help manual, How to Win Friends and Influence People, end quote. Do you say this for everyone that goes to accept an award for their commitment to feminist issues? What? It's interesting how they frame this entering through Hertz, which was near the Ziegfeld Ballroom. Quote, "Not even the surprisingly unglamorous arrival at the event, which saw her skirting a Hertz car rental desk at New York's Ziegfeld Ballroom, rather than walking the VIP red carpet, perhaps to avoid awkward questions from the live stream cameras, etc." End quote. I'm not proud that I am nearly fluent in the art of terrible journalism, but if she had walked the red carpet, they would have written articles about if Meghan wants privacy and to avoid the paparazzi, don't walk the red carpet. Why did Meghan use a side entrance? We just moved the Overton window to fit our story. Going on. Quote, "On the surface, she was in town to receive a Woman of Vision award at a gala to mark the 50th anniversary of the Miss Foundation for Women, the organization set up by veteran feminist Gloria Steinem," end quote. What surface? She was receiving an award from someone she greatly admires who she's become friends with, Gloria freaking Steinem. If you think I'm not showing up to hang out with Gloria Steinem, you out your mind. They go on to say that under the sea, this looks increasingly like, quote, "an attempt to relaunch and possibly save the Sussex brand," end quote. I guess my question is, saving from what exactly? Because just by the numbers, her podcast has been successful, their documentary was successful, and his memoir was very successful. So I guess I'm just a little confused. But don't worry, they provide evidence. Their evidence? And I am going to need tea for this one. US polling. Except it's not US polling, which is the funnest part. We're going to get to it. Quote, "In the US, polls and commentators have been saying for months that even Americans with their huge appetite for soap opera and instinctive sympathy for a supposedly wrong compatriot, get the out of here, were tiring of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's endless bleating about so-called royal injustice and their alleged mistreatment in Britain," end quote. Which commentators? Can you imagine writing for a British tabloid that it's the Americans that are obsessed with soap opera drama? Really? So far, we have generalized Americans and commentators that they don't list. Let's keep going. Whoop, here we go. In January, a poll for Newsweek, one of their principal cheerleaders. Say what? Sure, Richard Kay and Tom Leonard, let's keep going. But it goes without saying that papers shouldn't be cheerleaders for anyone. They should just be reporting the news. How weird. So they revealed that in just a month, Prince Harry's popularity had plunged 45 points in U.S. public opinion, while Meghan's had tumbled 36 points. Wow, sounds really bad. They go on to say that these are numbers which cannot be ignored. But you want to know what numbers they did ignore? This one, from April 12th, 2023. God, I wonder why you picked a poll from January 2023 instead of the most recent ones. I thought numbers couldn't be ignored. So this is about how the numbers have gone in a positive direction for Meghan and Harry among Americans. But the one thing I couldn't figure out was who is running these polls. And then I found it. The polling is from Redfield and Wilton. Who is Redfield and Wilton? As we've discussed before, they are a London-based polling company. I searched through their research, and guess what? They show none of the polling methodology for questions about Harry and Meghan. It does not exist. Now, whether it's because of some agreement with Newsweek, maybe they can't publish it, but I've reached out to them via email, Twitter, etc. in the past to find out, can I just get the raw data? Never hear anything back. They also kind of popped out of nowhere. I don't know. I'm not suggesting there's any there, but my spidey senses are kind of tingling. They then go into the fact that Meghan did not go on tour with Prince Harry for the book Spare, and that if it was to avoid the negative publicity attaching to her husband, it didn't work. Why, pray tell, are there negative stories? Why might that be? Is it because it's good for SEO? Because it brings in clicks? But let's not explore that, please. Let's go on. They then go into a poll from March. You're so close to April. You're so close. Maybe this time I'll be lucky. And you want to know how they know that those polls affected her so that she decided to pivot away from royal drama? She wore her hair in a slick, poker straight hairstyle. It's the true marker of seriousness. Just believe the two white men. Then they get into Prince Harry and Meghan Markle going for sushi. They make a lot out of the fact that's 120 pounds per head at this Japanese restaurant. But I believe that's if you're doing the tasting menu. Which, have you ever gone out for good sushi? And then it goes into who they reportedly had lunch with. Reportedly, Cameron Diaz and her husband, Gwyneth Paltrow and her TV producer. So maybe she's networking? But also, yeah. Oh, we got a South Park reference. The hilarious South Park parody, as they say. But also, if your only example of Harry and Meghan not succeeding in the US is an episode of a TV show from a couple of months ago. What? And then they quote Meghan McCain, the voice of the people. Did you know her father was John McCain? She said, quote, "We've all just fallen down some wormhole where we will never be free of hearing every single detail of Prince Harry's life and why he believes no one has ever had a worse life than his," end quote. This is apparently the criticism that Meghan needs to take heed from. It's just such an utterly stupid article. It's paragraphs long, but it's void of substance. It relies on polling to make it seem credible, an American paper, and the likes of Meghan McCain. But besides that, there is no proof of fact. For all the talk of numbers not lying, they leave out the numbers of how some of their projects have performed thus far that really don't lie. New York Times has a headline, Prince Harry's Spare memoir breaks sales records. 1.3 million copies in the first day, including pre-sales. That would be across the United States, Canada, and Britain. Their Netflix documentary ranked up, according to CNBC, 81.55 million viewing hours globally within its first 4 days of release. Netflix remarked that it is the highest viewed hours of any documentary series in a premiere week. 2 days after Archetypes dropped, it was the #1 on Spotify for the US, the UK, Ireland, Australia, New Zealand. This is from both People and News International. Again, if numbers are important, why aren't we bringing in all the numbers? Because they know you're not going to read the article. You're going to read the headline, and if it confirms your point of view, you're going to share. This is why I am so passionate about media literacy and how we consume media. But also, I'm going to need a nap or some trash TV after this. Bad journalism hurts my brain.